It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Yes. No, that is not what we're doing.
It's T-Bone and Chick Brew, Friday starting at 0630.
And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
and Chick Brew
in the morning show is for infotainment purposes only.
The opinions expressed here do not represent
Naval Station Rhoda, the Armed Forces Network,
or the Department of Defense.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. I got it all out. I'm good.
I wish everyone else could hear the symphony of sounds you make in the morning.
It's vocal warm-ups.
Now, brown cow.
Don't people need to do that before they speak in the morning? Doesn't everyone do a verbal... This is what happens when you don't do the proper amount of mouth calisthenics before coming in.
Could you please get closer to the mic?
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah. That's not something I normally hear.
No, it's not.
Another thing you never hear in Spain is the plane is early. That's
you have a special guest.
I do have a special guest.
I was hoping that you would bring your special guest.
I wanted to bring my special guest, but let's be honest, all right? She had a long transit to get here.
I did too.
And then...
I've been waiting my whole time knowing you.
And then... we gorged on dogfish, pimientos, and chocofritos.
Those are my favorites.
They, when people visit me here, I take them out to the beach, usually one of the Chiringuitos. I'm not going to say a specific name, but it's the last one you can get to. It's got great parking. Oh. I go to that Chiringuito. I order, 3 half portions of the same thing, and me and my guest, we pick and choose. But normally, it's more than one guest. It's a Cat B person that gets off the plane.
Right.
Like our listener in Greece. When him and his wife popped through, I took them out to the same Chiringuito. We had the exact same meal a year ago to the day.
Perfect.
Yesterday. and so when you come to Spain, what are you going to eat? What's the Spanish food you're going to eat? Well, we got
an Irish pub.
Got a whole bunch of bland with a side of bland. But there are certain things they do very well. The thing they are known for, however, paella. I mean,
it's true.
You can get paella anywhere. We have a name for paella in the States that's not paella, but it is exactly paella. It's not gumbo, but it's something along those lines.
Jambalaya.
Yeah. Same thing. Take a bunch of leftovers and fry it up. No?
My favorite thing... No. That is incorrect.
In the abbreviated almanac of everything...
Before you offend somebody by calling jambalaya paella, I'm going to stop you right there.
All right. In the abbreviated almanac of everything that's absolutely true, 2004 edition, you will read the story of the invention of paella. Yes.
I can't wait for you to send it to me.
I can't wait to finish it. Yes, that's like 2 chapters done now. So in case you haven't figured it out, it's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Yeah, I have a good ad out. I like that ad. It's a 20-second commercial that I just post on the Facebook groups. And if you got your sound on, you hear something. But if not, it's just,
a picture.
The old school picture thing I used to do.
There's sound on that one?
Yeah, there's sound on all of them now. It's
so fancy.
I know. This is what happens.
This is what retirement looks like, folks.
When you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you got a little time on your hands.
You get another job. You wake up even earlier than you had to. I was like, oh man, if he's got a special visitor and he's not going tomorrow, I'm not going. Because when I messaged you, we literally just walked in the door.
And you thought I was going to bail.
Well, I didn't think you would because you're here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to come here if I didn't have to be.
You were hoping I was going to bail.
I didn't want to because, I'm tired, but whatever. I'm going to take a nap later. It's going to be fine. The sun is coming up already.
It is 6:20 in the morning in southern Spain for our international listeners. It's, at 6:20 in the morning, I observed. It's not 6:20 now. Don't set your clocks to
6:32.
The sun is coming up at 6:20 in the morning.
Yeah. It's like a dusky green gray.
And
it's going to be it'll get better.
Is today the equinox? Is today the day? I don't know. It's going to be a long day, and it's going to be a long show. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh, I just came in with the party.
People don't know there's two shows that go on here regularly. There's the broadcast show that everybody else can hear, and then there's the banter and conversation that me and my friend have while...
Oh, your friend? I have one friend.
You know how easily it is to throw me off track sometimes?
No.
I'm done. So back to the music.
You're so pretty. No.
What was I saying?
You were saying that there's two shows, the broadcast show and the other.
And they don't get to hear the other show, but what they don't know is I want to know the end of the other story.
Oh.
So
you want me to tell you and everyone else why I was in Madrid?
Will it be entertaining?
I don't know. Just went to Madrid to pick up a dog.
Will it be useful? Why are you picking up a dog in Madrid?
So the producer, my manager.
Your manager,
My
yes. Uh-huh.
Parents were needing to have someone watch their dog for a while they figure out their next moves, right? Working for the State Department can be a tricky spot. So we're watching the dog.
They shipped a dog here.
Yeah.
For you to babysit.
Yeah, which is gonna be great because little Rupert,
the beagle,
who is currently in a cone.
No.
Burr, burr, burr.
Poor boy. You know, I hate that.
I know.
I hate when people do that. Why? Is it really necessary?
I don't know. It wasn't up to me.
Did you at least invest in the nudicles?
No, did not. I didn't know until you said anything about it, and it was too late.
It's never too late.
No, well,
the hammer had not been, the scissors had not been, I don't know, some tool of...
He doesn't even know. To be honest with you, he doesn't even... I was like...
Because he's on drugs? Or because he's got a cone on his head and he hasn't been able to look down there yet?
He hasn't investigated yet. I give it a week.
When you take the cone off and your dog has his first experience realizing he's now different, please video that. Some of
the ears are just gonna...
Some of the reactions that animals have are absolutely priceless. And I think anytime a dog is... tortured in such a way that he no longer is a masculine dog.
Was he ever a masculine dog?
No, because he was a puppy. He never got a chance to be masculine.
Oh, poor little guy. Stop making me feel bad. It wasn't my fault. I didn't want to do it.
So the dog you're babysitting, what is the breed of the dog you're babysitting?
Question mark.
Oh, it's a mutt.
But she's beautiful. She has like one ear that sticks straight out, like
she's
Yoda,
a deformed mutt.
And then she has one ear that flops over like Dobby. So she's like Yoda Dobby dog.
Okay, you keep that mutt away from my dog.
She has also been... She can't have babies. We're a house full of pets that can't have babies.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. For those who missed the show last week, let me just say this. We understand that there's a problem with AFN 360. Did you just pshaw me?
There was a piece of thing floating near my coffee, okay? I can't... The coffee cannot be tainted this much.
There's a known issue that we have right now with AFN 360 on the internet. If you go to afneurope.net or however you access AFN 360, it could be through the app. If you're having a problem with that, there's an email address on there to DMA Proper. Please send them an email and let them know that you're not hearing us. Now, obviously, if you're not hearing us, you didn't hear that message. So this is primarily for those of you listening to the archived versions that are posted weekly, and the latest archive is up, and I think I say pretty much the same thing last week. We email and private message most of you when you have an issue. If you're having an issue with us not being on 360, please email DMA and let them know you're a listener and you want to hear T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Back to the music. Good news, good news, good news. If you're listening on any of the other 5 continents that we broadcast on, AFN 360 is functioning correctly.
Yay.
Yes, that's right. We're broadcasting to our friends in Africa, in Asia, in Greece. I know that's Europe still, but and for the view authorized only selected listeners in the continental United States, North America. And our friends in South America. We're out there. We're everywhere except Antarctica.
I don't want to go there, though.
I don't mind if my presence, my being is transported there via magic. I don't know how this works.
I'm cold right now. Just thinking about it, I'm cold.
I have a great story I'm going to be telling you, but we're getting close to the top, right? So I don't want to get invested in that, but I'm going to give you the teaser. Again, that's broadcasting jargon for... I'm going to tell you a little something now so I can tell you a little something later.
I've already forgotten what you were going to say.
So, we're going to talk about the effect that we have on people. You do not realize the effect that you have on other people.
Oh, like when you wear your purple shirt versus the black shirt you're wearing today? The effect it has on...
30 years from now, with no further contact between you and I, is that the thing that you'd be talking about?
Yes.
Okay, well then, there you go.
This man looks so good in a purple shirt, it just made my day. Because it makes your eyes like extra green, and so it's you. That purple shirt is you.
Yes, but once again, this is radio, so...
It's not about them, it's about me. I have to look at the mustache, I should get the purple shirt.
Story of my life. Is this thing not right? Do you realize without the edges going all the way down like that, I couldn't pull off the top?
Oh, really?
I do not have... I am very fortunate. I have 3 younger brothers. All of them are hairy little monkeys, and they have been since as soon as they exited the birth canal, they popped out some chest hair. All 3 of them, very hairy beings, arm hair, leg hair, chest hair, and as they progressively get older, all of them going bald.
Oh.
Me, not a lot of chest hair or body hair, but the one thing I do have is head hair. And I'll take that trade-off any day for as long as I can. I know it's not going to last forever. I'm starting to deteriorate slowly as my hair slowly begins to thin, but I will have long, thin hair.
Okay, Nicolas Cage.
I will comb over. I will do whatever it is and so that when I look in the mirror, the guy looking back at me is a guy I want to talk to.
Yikes.
What do we got?
It's good to set your standards low. That way.
Lowered expectations. Absolutely.
That way you're always winning.
Hey, so I do have a guest in town, and this is where we ask for that customer interaction, where we talk to our listeners and ask questions and get your responses. I have already done all of the most notable things you can do in the Andalusian area. Tony's Tours, LLC, is that's not a real promo, Big AFN in the Sky. It's a fake company, okay? I am looking for new destinations to take my guest as we cycle through. So they've all been here once. They're starting to cycle through for their second visit. What new, exciting destination would you recommend that we go, or we take people as guests in the area? Your information will be shared amongst the community and the continent. Give us a call, 727-1025, or on your cellular phone, 956-821-1025, or, of course, hit us up on any of the social media options available to you. I didn't even know there was a London School of Barbering.
What?
Well, I'm going through our coastline because this is a great way of getting community information. There's this and there's Facebook. So it's safe to assume that when you're looking at the coastline, things in here have been reviewed, peer reviewed, have been vetted. Like these pictures of these people with these names are actual people with pictures and names. You know, it's not like the internet. I remember when I was going. So you're
the internet is real.
You're what was it officially? A TAP instructor? What do you TAP?
I teach the TGPS class.
TGPS. It used to be called TAPS.
It used to be called TAPS.
Right, which is a very sad thing because you figure TAPS is played at funerals.
Right.
Transition through this, bad boy.
Used to be a retention course.
So yeah.
It's a retention tool. It's not working.
I don't want to get out. I want to stay in.
I've made a huge mistake.
I went through my TGPS, TAPS, whatever you want to call it, my transition out of the service class
80 years ago.
with Billy James.
I love him.
I do. I'll tell you how I think I might have offended him recently, too. So me and Billy are going through class together, and we're talking blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I mean, just pull it up on Facebook. And we're not Facebook friends. Oh, no problem, man. I can add you. And I do, boop, 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 and I get Billy James's profile. And it is Billy James, and there are pictures of Billy James on this profile. It is not him. It is not. He goes, that's not me. I was like, dude, I know what you look like. I'm looking at you. That's you. Someone had stole his information and made a fake profile.
Look up Andres Poole.
I shall not. I don't even know who that is, but...
I went to high school with him. He was
Okay.
on Friday Night Lights, right? Like, not a huge star. Runs a lifestyle brand now.
Okay.
But he is his image is the #1 used image by catfishers. Someone tried to catfish his cousin with his photo.
He is so attractive.
He's gorgeous. It's not even fair.
Really?
Yeah, and he's really nice too. He's like very nice, and he's very easy on the eyes. Overall, nice guy.
Look,
very family oriented.
I'm
always
not.
Up, you know?
I'm not all those things. I'm not.
That's why we talk on the radio.
Yeah. But you're welcome to use all those potential scam artists out there. Hey, if you're from Nigeria and you're looking for the face of on it, use mine.
Right. That's a face you want to trust.
Yeah. How? I mean,
There's even a website and a Facebook page called The Real Andres Pool. It's been in magazines.
And it's not even him.
He has to constantly tell people that it's not him. So
that is
imagine
the
if you were walking down the
version of
street
celebrity.
and someone comes at you and is like, "You took my money," and you're like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
You impregnated my sister.
Because someone used your picture to take money. It's very dangerous.
I guess you can't. Unless
that's a weird situation. I don't know how that works.
Unless you have a Andres Pool mask on.
I don't think
that is the strangest celebrity imaginable. Please, I volunteer my face for your weirdness. That would be hilarious.
So much fodder there.
Yeah, so me and Billy go through class, and there's a fake Facebook page with his name on it. And of course, he reports it, it gets taken down, and he's got his real thing. I saw him, me and Zeus are out on Saturday. I've got a flat tire that needs to be repaired, and I'm sitting in a weird location where I'm out of the sun. I'm in the shade, but the sun's in my face, and I see this guy in a bicycle suit, and he's getting it. He's moving at a clip.
Oh, yeah.
And I see him.
Billy James is painfully athletic.
Yeah, of course he is. Bless his heart. And this person at a distance is coming at me, and the sun's in my eyes, but I'm sitting in the shade, so there's this weird thing, and I'm like, that looks like somebody I should know. Obviously, it's an American, I'm thinking. And
how American looking are you
he
today?
gets almost all the way past me and Zeus, where I mean, if I had been wearing my prescription glasses instead of my shade, I would have noticed who it was, but I didn't. So he's almost all the way past us when he goes, "Hey, Tony," and I obviously pick up the voice. I'm like, "Hey, Billy, I'm sorry. I almost didn't recognize you at all. Apology, please accepted." Moving on. Is it time?
It's time. We're gonna play one more song and then go to AP Radio News.
Woohoo! I don't remember that song fading out that long over time, but there it is.
I'm not mad at
hello,
it.
Sarah Marie Fuller. Thank you very much. It's been an interesting day for Rota Rideshare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So, as you know, and maybe everyone else knows, well, actually, this was good because this was one time when it wasn't anything I did or anything you did that prompted people to join the Rota Rideshare Facebook group. It's something that happened on one of the local social media groups. Somebody needed a ride or was talking about giving people rides because, I know what it was. Someone had a horrible story about elderly people dragging luggage across the installation. Wow, where have I heard that story before?
Yeah.
That was kind of the inspiration that started the Rota Rideshare thing. That and the fleet of taxis. The constant caravan. We talk about saving the environment, one straw at a time. But yet, people who live side by side will take separate cabs to work instead of just like, "Hey, can you come 5 minutes early? We'll do this together."
Yeah. It's true.
But it's funny because sometimes on the way in, I will pass 10 cabs leaving the pier area at the same time. None of you could coordinate. So Rota Rideshare was basically set up with the intention of connecting people who need rides with people who are willing to give rides. And it doesn't have to be an everyday thing. It can be an occasional thing. Like yesterday, I was out at the Jerez airport. If anybody had needed a ride out there, I would have taken them. If anybody needed a ride back, I had extra room. I would have given it.
Yeah.
But I did not see anyone that was in need. So therefore, I did not offer. And I spent some quality time. Anyway. So there's that. I got slightly distracted. We asked you earlier to kind of give us some of your things. What would you do if you had a guest in town, a two-timer? You had a guest coming back that you've already given the royal treatment to. You've already followed Tony's Tours maps. Huh?
Have you gone to get fish
I shall
pedicures?
not, ever.
It's so weird.
Not that I'm anti-pedicure. Huge fan of the pedicure. But yeah,
The fish pedicure is weird.
Yeah.
It's very tickly.
Well, I'm not good at tickly. I have made many a Vietnamese woman laugh at my response to being ticklish.
One time I punched Val.
Okay. All right.
I'm not good at being tickled.
Yeah, I am not. I don't like it. So when we asked for suggestions about what to do with our two-timer vest, we got a couple, and one of them was tonight's beach festival. So I know there's something that goes on the beach. I live close enough to hear the noise, but I live on the opposite side of the giant sand dunes, so I can't see what's actually taking place. If you know, and you can help me explain to everybody else what's happening on the beach tonight, the specifics, so we can share that information, or put it up on any of the community pages. I think there's a lot of people who may be interested. It's kind of a big deal, but I in all of my time here, I've never been to one of these beach bonfire music festival parties.
So you guys could experience a first together.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Nina's here, and that's something we don't normally do, that sounds like that might be a fun thing for us to do. That or eating zebra. Really wanted to eat the zebra.
Zebra.
Zebra?
Zebra.
Is it pronounced zebra now? Did they change the pronunciation?
Well, it's always been zebra in the country and continent where they are found. We call them zebras. They're not native to America. So that's interesting.
That is not interesting. That's completely made up. Just because you read it on the internet doesn't mean it's
read
true.
It on the internet.
You didn't read it
Did
on the
not
internet.
read it on the internet.
You know, English is not the native language of the country where zebras come from. You know that, right?
So what do they call them in the country where they were founded, where they exist in the wild? What do they call them? Zebra.
I don't know how to say it in Swahili. Striped horse.
Zebra.
All right. We'll be back with more. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. God, I hate sometimes when I'm put on the spot like that. I could have done. I went with a Bushman accent. Honestly, I know Swahili words. I know American words. I could have done better. I could have said Habarigami. I could have said Nzuri. I could have said Asante Sana. Just, man. Hey, shouldn't we be hearing music right now? There may have been a mistake. You may have heard something you weren't supposed to hear. It's okay. As far as I know, I didn't say anything bad. So, sorry? A small technical glitch allowed the microphone to be on a little bit longer than it should have been on. But as far as we can know, because the phone isn't lighting up, they haven't killed our signal, I think we're okay.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, so here's your apology. Sorry. So, how many groups do you belong to?
Too many groups.
So in the social media world.
Oh, there's so many.
I know. So
and I can't decide which ones to get rid of.
I told you once. I never knew so many groups existed. I don't go out seeking groups. I don't really create groups. I'm goofing around one day after getting a new Rhodesian Ridgeback puppy, and I start getting added to all of these different groups and groups and groups. And the funny thing about these groups is they all have these tyrannical administrators.
Oh, admin.
Admins, yeah.
Yes.
They have admins. And admins come and go, and, especially there's a whole bunch of websites where the admins are transital. They'll come for a couple years, they go. And it's always fun to see the ebb and the flow of people who are like, I am the admin now. Everything is going to be better. It's like a campaign promise from the new admin. An unelected official
Where are my
stands up.
free tacos on Tuesday? That's all I asked for.
Unelected official stands up and says, I promise to make things better. And then all that ever does is create like additional groups. So you got Group A, and Group A is specific to this thing. And then you get a new administrator on there who's like, I'm going to fix all of this. Group A is going to make Group A better again. And there's the people like, no, Group A was fine just the way it was. Well, then you're kicked out of the group. And they kick people out of the group. And then those people just go on to make Group B. And they say, like, Group B is better than Group A. Join Group B. So you have competing social media pages that are the same information, just different leadership at the helm. I always find that to be fun to watch.
I want there to be a change of command for every admin page. I need to know who's leaving, and I need to know who's coming in. I need a face with the name so that I know who to complain to. I also want a comment box where I can put irrelevant and highly suspicious suggestions whenever I see fit. Also, thank you to John who messaged me to say, great show. Also, Sunday, June 23rd, is Noche de San Juan, which is St. John's Eve, and that is the bonfire celebration that you were asking about.
So that's Sunday night. That's not Friday night.
It says June 3rd will be the celebration this year.
June 23rd.
23rd. What day am I on? It doesn't matter.
All right, so the Noche de San Juan, that's Sunday night. Well, that's really not good for everybody who's got to work on a Monday morning.
Cullen busy.
It's probably a day off.
Probably a day.
They
are so good at that.
so good at fixing their holiday situation in Spain.
Yes, they've really crushed it.
They do better than any other country I know. So
Yes.
Italy had its issues where there was too many holidays. You can't get anything done. First of all, everybody takes the month of August off, and then there's a holiday every 2 seconds.
Also, fireworks every night at midnight.
Oh yeah, Viva
Why?
Italia!
Why? What are the fireworks for?
So we're gonna.
Are you sleeping?
When we come back, we're going to talk about how you affect other people and you don't even realize it. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Oh, by the way, thanks, John. And there we are. So we're back at T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Hey, here's what we're going to talk about. We talked about it early on in the show as a let you know that this was coming. I had an epiphany recently in a early morning conversation with someone from my past.
So not this morning at 3.
No, not this morning at 3.
I did not
It was
inspire
actually
you.
yesterday morning at 3.
I did not inspire you.
So, once upon a time, I was stationed in a country far, far away, and I was with other young men serving their country, and it was a great time. What I did not realize until this phone call, and now me and my friend Johnny Stewart, we hadn't talked in 30 years. We had not talked in 30 years.
Oh, wow.
His name is Johnny Stewart, and even though he's
You
from
haven't talked since I was 5.
even though he's from Tracy, California, and I know him, his name and where he's from, it's a pretty common name. Now, granted, his name is not reflective of his nationality, so that's always a little tricky. But I couldn't, even throughout the years when I've looked him up, it was hard for him to find. Me on social media, of course, I don't use my given name. I use my stage name. So he couldn't find me. So although we had thought about each other over the 30 years, we weren't able to find each other. I posted something on Twitter. Somehow it crosses his Twitter feed.
Crazy.
And before you know it, he's hitting me up on the Facebook saying, hey, man, you remember me? And of course I remember everybody. But I don't remember the impact I have on people. So yesterday morning, he calls me up bright and early. And we're having hey, we haven't talked to each other in 30 years. How you doing conversation? And of course, life has been great for both of us. We are both people of humble beginnings who had a rough start in life, but have turned our lives into something really positive and good. But I was also there when Johnny was having some down parts. This was my friend. My friend got in trouble and ended up having to leave the Navy a little bit early. I was with him through that, but he was just my friend. I never really thought anything of it. As he tells the story back to me 30 years later, these things had significant impacts on him, and I had no idea. I was just treating my friend the way you should treat a friend, but it stayed with him, and he has 4 young boys, and he's telling me, yeah, I tell my boys all the time about this about you, or about this about you. And in my mind, I'm like, isn't that something to think about? We as individuals never realize the impact that we have on other people. Now, again, that impact can be negative or positive. It could be that one little thing that you said that somebody never forgets, and 30 years from now, when they're calling you back, they hate you and they still harbor all of that hate in you because of the one thing you said that you never even knew offended them.
Yeah.
So we always talk about trying to be positive, bring positivity in the world, and live a positive lifestyle. The extra added benefit of trying to live that positive lifestyle all the time is you have positive impacts on people that stay with them longer than you could possibly imagine and affect them more than you could even imagine. It completely blew my mind, the memories that Johnny had of our friendship and how they helped him along the way remember me in a way more positive light than I feel I deserve. Like, I feel like my friend put me up on a pedestal, and maybe rightfully so, I say as I shrug into my shoulders.
Because when you're a lot of these situations, we're seeing it as a parallel, right? Like, we're right next to these things that are happening. But what happens when the road splits?
Time and distance.
And then you don't know, you don't know how that affects the other person, but it's awesome. And I'm glad that he's doing well. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
I'm glad everyone's doing well, but I told you that story to tell you this motto of the story or lesson from the story. Try to be positive in all your interactions with other people. Take that negativity out of your life. You'll make a better impact on your friends, on your family, on your loved ones by maintaining a positive attitude than you will with negativity. So keep that in mind. We'll be back to close out T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Like we have no young. All right, so we just testing our equipment here. We found out our demographic. Based on our knowledge, we have the same general listeners who communicate with us. They're members of the fan club. They're part of the show. It's Lee, it's Dave, it's Max, it's Mike in Japan, it's John in Greece, it's John Christmas locally, and on occasion it's Eric the Gym Rat. So those are our listeners, all white males.
Thank you for your service and your listenership.
All older white males.
They're doing
ladies,
great things.
If you're listening, we well, apparently I said something. Oh, mercy. I got somebody. No, that's not it. All right. So if you're and I hear the kids in the school like listening to us in the morning time. I hear strange things, but it's not reflecting in our database. All right. None of you other so-called frequent listeners are really showing up. That's why when I go to the commissary and people tell me about the show, I'm like, who are you?
Who are you?
You're not dedicated to we should name a continent after every one of these people. That's how awesome they are. Or a planet. We have enough now to name a planet after every one of our listeners. But we're not broadcasting, as far as I know, on any other planet other than Earth. But if we start, apparently radio waves do go further. Here we go. It's time for your weekend safety brief. So as you know, every week we talk to you a little bit about the same things that your leaders should be talking to you about every day. It's about making those smart decisions in life so that you can live long and prosper and do good things. And here's how we do that. Well, number one, we have the three things of accident prevention, court-martial prevention, and there was another one. What is the three things? I should really write those down. Those are fun when I put them together, but they're not fun or funny when I forget what they are. So there's that.
It's still funny. You're wrong. It might be better when you forget.
Oh, accident, crime, and accident, crime, and court-martial prevention.
Yikes. ACC.
ACC. There's no way I'll get that confused in the future.
Yep.
But I'll take notes right here. The ACC prevention. That's accident, crime, and court-martial prevention. So to avoid accidents, here's what we do. We don't drink and drive because that's bad for you or it's bad for the other person.
It's really bad for everybody.
It's the most dangerous in the United States military. The most dangerous thing you men and women do every day is get behind the wheel of a vehicle. Yep. Or get on a bicycle, or walk on the side of a road. Anything having to do with the road. More service members are killed every year due to vehicle accidents than they are because of war, bombs, explosions, bullets, etc., etc., etc. So, sorry, I had a bad swallow there. It is the most dangerous thing you do every day. So when you're driving, your full attention should be on driving. Not doing your makeup, not reading the newspaper, not having another drink. It should be on driving. Not eating, none of those distracting things that in this country, no checking your messages in this country. All of them are finable. Now, the Spanish police don't really mess with anybody. They're pretty laid back.
You remember Decky Poo?
I do remember Decky
That
Poo.
man got more than one ticket for holding his phone in his hand while he was driving.
Put the phone down. Ladies and gentlemen, put the phone down. Driving is dangerous enough without the additional distractions. And there is a survey that says that the use of your phone, is more dangerous than drinking and driving.
Yes.
Because you are that much more distracted. I remember when I had Traffic Talk Tuesday in Sigonilla, I had somebody that would regularly text me while they were driving. And this is a friend of mine from years. And I kept telling him, you're stupid. Stop doing that. Please stop doing that. And I'm good at it. I can just feel my way around the buttons. And then he had a car accident. And he told me he doesn't do that anymore. But Mike DeJoya, if you're out there listening, I don't know if you don't do that anymore, but I do. I'll never forget that you did. So that's the accident prevention. For crime prevention, here's we go. It's that time of year. A whole bunch of different people are coming into the neighborhood. It's a seasonal location, so we're gonna get a lot of neat new people in the area. And following them are going to be a lot of the undesirable people who are looking for an opportunity to take advantage of you or the things around you. Your car is never a safe place to hide your valuables. If your car was a good place to hide your valuables, all of us would store our valuables in our cars. But we don't do that because cars, I don't know if you've caught the meaning here, cars are not a good place to store anything of value. Absolutely, the less temptation you have in your car, the higher the likelihood is that your windows don't get smashed. Leave nothing in it. Leave nothing in it. Even the garbage in your car could be tempting to somebody who's really needing it. It's just a garbage bag to you, but from the outside perspective, maybe that's a bag full of goodies that person wants or needs, or at least has to investigate. So remember, for your car, don't store your valuables in your car. It's a stupid idea. And for your house, lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it. Yeah. And that means being okay. Listen, I'm not calling you lazy. I'm warning you. If your door automatically locks when you pull it shut, it goes boom, and it locks.
That's not locked.
That's not locked. It's not. I could show you. I could get into your house very easily. Very easily.
Even I
can
do it.
What you have to do, and I know this takes a little more effort, is you have to put the key in the keyhole and you got to turn it. And if you can turn it 4 times, turn it 4 times. What a beautiful sunrise we're having this morning. You turn that lock until all the locks engaged. That is a steel door in a steel frame, framed in concrete. That prevents people from coming in the door. That's why we don't have those doors in the United States of America is still beyond me. But then again, I am still mad about the not having poured concrete homes in America.
That's why we live in Spain.
Yes. So, and finally, so we have accident prevention, crime prevention. Now we're talking about court-martial prevention. How do we avoid a court-martial? Well, that's a pretty simple answer. Stop getting in trouble.
You know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do.
Right. If you're drinking, driving, killing people, robbing people, sexually assaulting people, you can't do any of that. You never could.
And you never should.
You never should. Yeah. And granted, I understand definitions of things have changed over time.
Doesn't matter. People know. People know.
There's a clear,
Here's the thing.
know.
We've talked about it so much that even if you said, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I think the bottom rule is keep your hands to yourself.
Yep.
Commit to a life of celibacy and something with not drinking alcohol. What would that be called?
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, a big word for not drinking alcohol. Celibacy, we know what that's swearing off. If you did all of that, the bottom line is, if you're going to be an adult properly, make sure when you're adulting, you're not breaking laws, causing crimes, international incidences, nothing that could put you in front of an Article 32 hearing, or as the civilians call it, a grand jury hearing.
Just be respectful of yourself and others.
Yeah, be respectful. Keep your hands to yourself. Be polite. Be nice. Try to have a positive image. I gotcha. 20 seconds, so we're out of here. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's been T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. I'm sorry, but my button pusher has places to go. I remind you, as I always remind you, please be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person yesterday, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.